Always great chatting with my next guest, UFC heavyweight Chris Daukaus, is going to be back in action at UFC Fight Night on July 24th. Chris, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
Of course. It's always good to talk to you. Before we get into the fight, what did you get up to for 4th of July? Did you and your family get to celebrate at all?
Yeah. I just had a bunch of people over, so we were just, hanging out and celebrating, grilling a little bit. So, no desserts. I was kind of upset I didn't get any kind of sweets or anything like that, but it was definitely a good time.
Any barbecue and alcohol, or was that off limits as well?
Well, alcohol definitely off limits for me during camp. But yeah, barbecue is awesome. Burgers, dogs, some chicken, some other different things. I generally just try and eat like super clean, so like all organic grass-fed stuff. So yeah, it was really good.
Good to hear. When did you find out about this fight? It seemed like it kind of just came out of the blue. Did you get enough notice and get a full camp for this one?
I definitely got a full camp. They called me for a short notice fight, I want to say back in March, but the opponent and all that, I felt that I deserved to give that person a full camp. I didn't expect to be able to go through this individual with the shortened time frame. So I actually wasn't expecting this fight. I was expecting someone else. But yeah, Shamil, we got him. Super happy with it. So yeah, it just all works out. I'm really glad that I actually got a full camp on this, and it should be good. It should be really good.
Obviously, we don't want to get anyone in trouble here, but that opponent, was he like a notable opponent? Like if we can play sort of clue here a little bit. Okay, fair enough.
It was definitely a notable opponent. No one who's fighting for the interim belt or anything like that.
Fair enough. Well, I wouldn't have thought that, but maybe. Anyways, well, no need to play a detective here. That makes sense. And in terms of, your day job and everything, I know last time we spoke, you were still doing the policing. Is that still, are you still doing that, or did you cut back? Because I remember you mentioned that last time.
No, I definitely cut back. So with how the department works is that, I saved up a lot of time for instances like fight camps and stuff like that. So I'm using a bunch of my time for fight camps. It's really cool because the day after my fight will be my 10-year anniversary with the police department. So all goes according to plan, win, take a little time off from the police department, and then I'm out. So it's good.
I saw you did an interview with my buddy John over at Kumite TV, and you talked a bit about that whole thing with Joe Schilling. One of the things I wanted to ask you was that, have you ever had that before where a fighter has gotten in an altercation outside of an event or anything like that? Have you ever had to deal with that?
No, not particularly where I work. If a lot of pro fighters are hanging out where I work, there's definitely something else going on, besides them just hanging out where I work. But no, just even in general, I've never really heard of anything like that. It happens a lot. People get into bar fights all the time. One guy gets knocked out. That is aggravated assault, at least in where I work. Mm-hmm. That's how they categorize that, simply because of the loss of consciousness. So he would definitely be, charged with a felony and all that. So I don't know how it's going to play out for Joe and what's going to be going on, if they're going to kind of do some type of deal or what exactly. So.
There you go. Do you think you've seen the movie Roadhouse? I'm assuming, right? With Patrick Swayze. The first rule is be nice. Do you think he missed that rule when it came to dealing with that, or no?
Yeah, definitely. It just sucks. You're always supposed to be nice, especially to people who aren't fully with themselves, especially if they've been inebriated. So. It just really sucks on Joe's part.
Let's talk about your opponent here. 20-5 record. He's fought a lot of really notable fighters in your division. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
I feel really well. He's an experienced guy. He's got a lot of fights. He's got a lot of experience. My biggest takeaway from his record is the people who he has lost to are the top guys in the division. That's the kind of like the marquee check mark with him. He's the, I don't want to say he's a gatekeeper, because he's really not, but you get past him, you are in the upper echelons of the heavyweight division. And I think that I match up well just, everywhere. Stylistically, I think I'm more technical everywhere. He might have the advantage in striking. I'm sorry, not striking, in wrestling. I certainly have the advantage in striking.
I was going to say, you're a pretty good striker, Chris. Don't underestimate that.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, he comes from the Dagestan area, the Russia area. He was training under Khabib's father. I've seen a couple of videos, so he's cut from that same cloth. He's definitely the type of guy you cannot take seriously. And during this camp, I haven't. But technically speaking, I think I outwork him and just beat him in every area.
Anything different for this camp, or is it the same usual cast of characters? Your brother Kyle and everyone else?
Yeah, pretty much usual cast. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Pretty much, that's kind of the motto that I've been living by, especially with getting to the UFC. So it's all been working out really good. I got some really good wrestlers, and like I said before, that 80 to 90% of my training camps are wrestling and grappling heavy. So it's just another camp for me.
With you cutting back your hours and, obviously making a bit more money as well, have you looked into potentially doing some cross-training, like maybe going out to a Vegas and going to, say, like an Extreme Couture where there are a lot of bodies out there that are heavyweights that are in the UFC? Is it something that's crossed your mind at all?
Yeah, it's definitely something that it comes up, just to get that experience, just to get that whole different body type feel. That'd be really cool. But as of right now, I'm kind of still limited with working and everything like that. So
and
it's
family too, right? You got a lot going on.
And obviously with family, that's the biggest thing to me, at least, is spending time away from the family. And just because, like, during fight weeks, it just sucks. Like, I miss my family a lot. I miss my wife, my son. It's really hard on me, but it's a sacrifice and things that obviously we have to do as fighters to make a living.
And last thing on your camp, how excited are you for Kyle getting that fight with Kevin Holland? It was just announced yesterday.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting that, but it's a big name for Kyle, and I think he's going to be doing really good. And he's waiting to start camp because since it's so far out, but he's gonna run through this camp, and he's gonna be looking like a monster like he always does. So it'll be good.
I imagine Kyle will be in your corner. Who else will be in the cage with you that night?
It'll be Kyle, head coach Will Martinez, and my buddy Pat Brady. He's pretty much, outside of my brother, he's the number one, the number two training partner that I have, another big heavyweight. So it'll be good for him to come out and see how everything works. So, yeah, it'll definitely be good.
How's this fight playing out on July 24th?
Coming out, touch hands, and then I think he's going to, look to throw the big single shots like he does. He's very good in like the collar ties. Like he gets the collar tie, he'll go to the body and return with the uppercuts. And he's good on that aspect, but it's all single shots. I think I stay on the outside. I think I pick him apart, and if I don't finish him in the first round, it'll definitely be the second round.
A win here. I mean, you've been on an absolute tear in the heavyweight division. We sort of referenced it earlier about that big name. Do you feel like this is the fight that finally gets you that big name? You fought some good opponents, but I'm just saying, kind of getting in that conversation of maybe we can start looking towards a title shot. Yeah,
definitely. Like I said, the people that he's lost to in the UFC are the upper echelon of the heavyweight division. That is what I want. I want to fight for the belt. I want to be champion. I want to go down. I want to go past what Stipe did. Stipe, in my opinion, is the greatest UFC heavyweight of all time, simply because of the body of work that he's produced throughout the years. I want to surpass Stipe in everything that he's done, in title defenses and finishes and absolutely everything. But yeah, if and when I get past Shamil, there's going to be no doubt in my mind that I will be one of the top heavyweights in the division. And from there on out, in my opinion, it's just main carding. It's just main eventing, maybe a main event a show, and just getting the bigger and better names. That's it.
What was your reaction to the interim heavyweight title fight that they announced a few weeks ago? Because I think that caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah, I was a little taken off by that. I didn't expect it to happen. I still don't know the reason behind it, to be honest with you. Because champs normally take time off. It wasn't like Francis was just taking time off to go on vacation. He was going back to Africa. He was doing the whole, going back to where he lives and showing off the belt, which is really good PR for the UFC, which is really good, relations for not just the brand of the UFC, but the sport of MMA. And, he took the time off. He came back. I figured, he's going to get back to training, and then they were going to schedule I thought that the Derek Lewis, Francis fight was a done deal. I thought that was done. I thought that was good to go for September or August or whatever, but apparently not. And the whole, it's only been 3 months. That kind of threw me back. Now, granted, no one really knows the inner workings or the behind the scenes stuff that happens, whether it's like a negotiation type thing, like whether it was a money thing, like with the whole Jon Jones thing, people saying paying him and all that. So it's kind of weird for it to only be 3 months when you have other champions who sit out, a year or whatever, and nothing's going on. So I was definitely super surprised, but my brother tweeted it out, and I feel the same way about it, that the interim belt holder is really just the number one contender spot, and that's it.
Do you think Jon Jones fights this year with everything that's going on? We got an interim title now. I mean, it seems like there was a big logjam at the top, right?
No. Jon wants, obviously, he wants the crown jewel, the top prize of the heavyweight division, and that's going to be a title fight. So I don't think he fights this year. Gane and Lewis fights, I think it's August 7th they fight, or August 28th, one of them they fight. And then you have to factor in Francis. Like, are they going to go back in the renegotiations about the interim belt and Francis when they're fighting? And then is that going to be an end of the year card? Is that going to be, October, November type thing? And then it all depends on who takes, what kind of damage during the fight coming up in August. So I'm going to say no, strictly because I don't see Jon fighting a guy, one, who's not ranked in the heavyweight division, and even people who are ranked, I don't see Jon fighting any of us who are ranked in the heavyweight division, because it's too much. The risk reward is just too great. He doesn't have that negotiating power anymore of what he had when he was the 205 champ. And there's too much risk because people will pay to see him. But the thing is, there's no reward for him besides a big payday. It's not like he's guaranteed a title shot and fighting the number 15 ranked heavyweight in the world, or the number 8th ranked heavyweight in the world, or me, number 10. It's not a good career choice, like a career choice for him to do that. So I just think that he waits and they try and do renegotiations. He just, he's got that new, the new management company helping him out. So I think they'll get it done.
Before we go, got to ask, the beard. Usually people grow a beard in the winter when it's cold. Yeah. What's going on with you? It's pretty warm where you are right now, isn't it?
It's super hot where I'm at. So like I said, I'm taking time off from work. So this is the first time since I was like 18 when I could barely grow a beard that I actually could grow a beard. So I'm letting it grow. Letting my hair grow a little bit too. So we'll see how that goes. I definitely got to get a haircut. I'll look more presentable when come fight week. So.
There you go. Chris, thanks so much for the time, man. Really appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Just, check me out at Chris Daukaus MMA on Twitter and Instagram. Fuel Hunt. Appreciate you guys for hooking me up as always. Just everyone at the gym, Martinez, all my training partners, all the guys going and doing day class, the bigger guys. I really appreciate everything. So thank you.